Okay. And I think we can say informal session. And we've got, so we have 18, 15. Okay. And we have Maria and Art.
Mr. Chairman, I just forwarded you that email.
Okay, thanks. And so we've got Maria, Jason, and myself as members. Excuse Jacqueline, and the guests Sergeant McKenna, Ella Harris, and Andrew Jennings. So we start informally. We've got announcements. If anybody has anything.
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to skip preliminary business because, well, we can do a treasurer's report. That looks like we currently have available budget of $21,640, and we got, and that was as of the end of February. I got a thing from the town when I was at the excuse me, zoning board hearing yesterday. I checked our inbox, and we have a message from the treasurer's office with another $300 fine. So we're up like 21.9 for available budget. And so going back on that, looks like our next one that we can probably start on is Ella's Greater Lowell Health Alliance Focus Group.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. It's so nice to see you guys today. My name is Ella Harris. I work at the Greater Lowell Health Alliance, and today I'm here to speak with you all about a focus group. Essentially, the focus group is to share your opinion on healthcare and public health needs in your community. This focus group is being conducted by the Greater Lowell Health Alliance, partly on behalf of Tufts Medicine Lowell General Hospital. Every 3 years, healthcare facilities are required to conduct a community health needs assessment by federal and state regulations. And in our area, Greater Lowell Health Alliance collects data for this assessment, including focus groups from people like you guys. So essentially, this focus group, I will ask you or people that you know about 6 questions to gather information and data on your experiences of health in the community. You're free to share as much information as you like or as little information as you like. As a thank you for participating, I'll give everybody a $25 gift card to Market Basket. The focus group can have anywhere between 6 to 10 participants. So it's not too big of a focus group, and it can truthfully take anywhere from 15 minutes to 90 minutes, depending on how much the participants chat. But I think that it would be so great to either have you guys fill out our community health needs assessment survey or participate in a focus group, because once we publish the needs assessment, we're able to create data sets specific to specific populations like the Billerica Commission on Disability. So if you guys are interested in hearing data about your population, your community, where you live, we would be more than happy to come back to you guys and give you a little insight into the data we collected. But in the meantime, I can go ahead and drop a link to the survey in the chat if you guys wouldn't mind filling that out. Do you know, does this sound like a good idea? Is this something that you guys would be interested in?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You think that the next steps would just be looking at the calendar and maybe getting a date on our calendar. We are hosting focus groups until about mid-April. So if we could get something in within the last week of March or the first week of April, that would be awesome.
Okay.
And it could be with the board or with any of your peers or community members.
Right. If I could talk Marianne into it, I wouldn't mind having it, but it's for some reason my chat is not showing up.
I know mine isn't either. Mine is not either.
What are you looking for, Art? Or no?
The chat.
The chat, I'm
No,
not
it
seeing.
just doesn't have one.
Oh, I see.
You just have to use the email.
Okay, I will send you an email, Art, with that link, and then maybe
Okay.
some specific dates, if that's okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
Do you have any questions that I can answer for you in the meantime?
Do you have the 2-minute elevator speech as to what your organization does?
Yeah, absolutely. Our organization called Greater Lowell Health Alliance, we're basically a branch of Lowell General Hospital, and we work to kind of facilitate and coordinate collaboration with health service organizations in Lowell, Massachusetts. A big thing that we do is this community health needs assessment. We have 6 different task forces. The task forces are health equity. We have substance use disorder task forces, maternal child health, a lot of those types of health priorities. We also have some grant funding as well. Organizations can apply for mini grants or a large grant. And we also do conferences as well for both substance use and maternal child. But the biggest project that we work on is this community health needs assessment.
Okay.
But thank you for asking. I could have checked that out.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
you're welcome.
Okay. Do we have any other questions or what have you?
Yeah, I guess, there's only a few of us here, so assuming you need some more folks to participate. So what's the expectation in terms of who are you looking for?
Yeah. I've hosted a focus group with as little as 3 people and as big as 10 people. So realistically speaking, this group of people would be a wonderful focus group to have.
Okay, so it's big enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can also do like a key informant interview with just one person as well. But I think that a focus group is great because you guys are able to share your ideas with each other and listen to what you guys are saying, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. It could be with
Okay.
the group or with 3 people from this group.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting Marianne in on it just because she's
Yeah.
about as complex of a patient as you're going to get.
That would be great. That'd be awesome. But I can send you some dates in that link in an email.
Okay. Sounds good.
Do you have like specific availability with this group? I know you guys mostly meet on Thursdays.
Right. We do the Thursday at 6 meeting,
Okay.
and the that's like the third Thursday. I'm fairly flexible, except I'm not a morning person at all. So it's like afternoons and evenings are much better for me. And I am not available on Monday nights because I do a volunteer desk shift at our makerspace.
Okay.
So it's like I'm sitting there at the front desk playing receptionist for 4 hours.
Sounds good. Maybe like a Wednesday afternoon or night.
That would probably work pretty well.
Awesome. I'll look at some dates and send you that in an email.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you for listening.
Yep. Oh, that sounds
Thank you
great.
for coming.
And you can
Absolutely.
feel free to hang out if you want, or if you've got other things you need to do, feel free to take away.
Okay. Unfortunately, I do have to step off, but I really appreciate you guys giving me your time. And hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you for
sounds
joining.
great. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay. Scholarship Foundation. Do we have anything that we particularly want to talk about on that?
I don't even know who to get in touch with for that.
Okay, yeah, that was like a Darlene, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see if I would have my working notes on Scholarship
Yeah.
Foundation.
I mean, if I knew
yeah,
who
that
to
was-
reach out to, I would. So,
Yeah.
well, actually, you know something? I might be able to. Is that something we still want to pursue?
I think so. I mean, to me, it's
Okay.
a good idea
All
to,
right.
do a donation of some sort to for Scholarship Foundation. I'm just, figuring out how to word it, how much and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
I'll
again,
find out.
sounds good.
I'll get the name and I'll work with the person.
Right. And let's see, skipping around a little bit, we had the Kennedy Meadows thing that Sergeant Kim Kenner and I have been discussing a little bit. And essentially, I reached out to the Mass Office on Disability and said, what exactly are the rules? And they came back and made a very nice set of suggestions, as far as I'm concerned, that I think that Sergeant McKenna says he likes, is that basically they kind of were doing a wrong thing by trying to make designated handicapped spots for residents. What they should have been doing, and that they're suggesting that we try to get them to do now, is basically assign residents parking spaces, which would not have handicapped marking signs on them. It would just be like reserved for unit 93 or whatever. And those spaces would have access aisles depending on what each individual needed for their own personal disabilities or needs or whatever. And then have a number of guest spaces according to the standard ADA formula. His first guess from just looking at Google Maps was they looked like they had about 100 spaces. So that would have been four spaces total, with one of them van accessible, and prohibit residents from parking in there and save those 4 spaces as visitors only. And that way, hopefully, you've kind of resolved the issue by giving everybody a place to park that has been assigned to them, and leave spaces for visitors. And also made it very clear that the access aisles are absolutely not to be used for parking, and that's a ticket on site offense.
Did you say it's a ticketable offense? Is that what you said?
To park in the access aisle, yes, it's a state law violation.
Okay. I know, I think Mark was talking with them. I think we could certainly make the suggestion. I think, but they're probably going to push back at it. So what if I remember right, they didn't actually have enough spaces for all the residents. I think there was an assumption that not everyone would have a car. If I remember that comment. And then also that would mean as people kind of came and go, they would have to sort of tailor the spaces. So I think we can certainly make the suggestion. I just don't know if they're going to go for that.
And his response that he said they were having to do in places like Revere, where they didn't have enough spaces, was to essentially say, you set up a waiting list, and residents who want to park
Mm.
in the complex have to be on the waiting list for a space to open up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and, so it's something that management would have to run, but hopefully it would be something that would handle the whole issue of the parking things that are having Sergeant McKenna and his folks having to go down there on a regular basis. And I think that's probably about as good as we can hope. And what I was hoping to talk with Mark was how to communicate this recommendation to Kennedy Meadows.
I think he sent them a letter previously, so if I remember right, and so he could probably just do that again. Or I think he's had some correspondence with them already, so just continue that channel.
Yeah, that's kind of why I want to go through Mark. Since he's already got the communication established. But it's just that it has been something that we have reached a recommended solution, and if anybody wants, I can send out the text that I wrote up and sent to Sergeant McKenna. But I didn't send it out to everybody just because.
Did they send you anything in writing? How did you get that advice?
This advice was from a phone call that I had with, let me see here. It was Ralph DeChico, who is the access specialist with the Mass Office on Disability. And he said that if people had questions, they could call. But
do you think they'd be willing to write that? It just might be more official.
I was basically writing it as he was describing it to me. So I don't think there'd be a lot of benefit to having something in writing, because I was writing it and reading it back to him. And he said that I had it down. It just is that there wasn't anything specific that they could point at as a regulation.
No, I didn't mean that. I just meant like as a matter of source. So just that it's, not that they're saying anything enforceable. It's just a suggestion, but like to have it, on some letterhead or something. So that's where it's coming from. That's all I was thinking there.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we can probably put it on our letterhead. And like I said, he gave me his name and contact information so that I can put that in the letter, saying this is per a phone conversation with the access specialist at the Mass Office on Disability. This is what was suggested. And I think that would work.
Okay.
And it's kind of like if we take and we make this suggestion and we continue to have problems, I would say let the management know and kind of say it's not our problem. We have told you what you need to do, and it's up to you guys to get your management to do it.
Yeah. Has that been happening with the tickets for people parking in the access aisles?
I don't know. That would be something that Sergeant McKenna would have to answer about how many tickets he's writing for people in that area. I know he said that he is very much a believer in writing access aisle tickets. And the commission's basic feeling was we want to encourage writing those tickets.
That was one of our problems, and that was an issue that was brought before the department here on our tip line was many overnight violations of vehicles parked in the access aisles. So we went down there, cited a couple cars, had a couple cars move, spoke to some people, and what we did is we actually gave Kennedy Meadows 2 of our temporary no parking signs attached to a traffic cone to stick inside the slash marks or the curb, just to give people a little bit more warning.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the residents were thinking that it's an open space. It's adjacent to the 2 handicap spots we can park here. And obviously it's for van use and access use. So
yes,
a little bit of education goes a long way sometimes.
Oh yes, I totally agree. I would say that I'm not terribly sympathetic because I know that I got this very nice letter when I got my placards that tells me all about the rules of regulations about using the placard that specifically
Mhm.
say don't park in the access aisle.
Well, at
Nope.
least when the one time that I looked at it, the people who were parking there also had placards. Like it's not, and I don't think it's because they didn't know. I think it's because they wanted a close parking space. And so I think until they create more of those spaces, they'll have to park further away.
Yeah. And that was one of the things in that. Sorry, I don't know what I've got. Popping around or something. That they basically said that it was up to management to figure out who got which space in terms of being closest to the door.
Right.
But that's kind of like, again, that's a not our problem
Yeah.
thing. And the other comment the MOD I said is that, yeah, every single one of these assisted living places tries to pull that where our residents won't be driving cars variance thing, and that if we get any further people trying to build those in our community, that we should very much push back against giving that kind of a variance. So, anyways, like I say, that was it.
Mr. Chairman, as for the issue with the parking spaces in general down there, I was assigned to the overnight shift for about a year and a half. And I can remember driving through there, and there were plenty of parking spaces available in the overnights. And typically with that type of residence in that type of building, the people are going to be home in the overnight shift. So there were plenty of parking spaces for the residents. So I don't know if they're stretching a truth or not about saying that they don't have enough parking spaces
No, I
for
don't.
the residents.
I don't think they're saying that. It's just there. I agree with you. When I've observed there's plenty of parking. It's just that they're normal spaces, right? I think they only have like 4 or 5 of the accessible spaces, and everything else is a normal space. So you could park there and have space to get in or out when you get there, but theoretically someone could park right next to you in a normal space.
Yeah.
So I agree. They have plenty of space to convert to accessible spaces if they so chose.
Right. But like I said, the problem he said when you try to have handicapped spaces is resident parking, that anybody with a permit can park in those spaces. Whereas if you have assigned spaces saying that this space is designated for the resident in unit number X, then nobody else is allowed to park in that space. And you can and so you don't have to designate it as a handicapped spot because it's not being used for that. It's being used as parking for resident in unit X. And that basically changes the equation. If somebody else parks there, they're now parked illegally because it's not their space.
I think it's a good suggestion. Let's see what they say.
Yeah. And he said that they had been down this road before with other residential things and found that trying to increase the number of designated handicap spots to match the number of residents didn't work.
Mm-mm.
So that's basically what their answer was. So do we have anything else that is parking or similar related things, or so that we can let Sergeant McKenna go back to his other duties if he so chooses?
No.
I don't think we do. I mean, I'm looking here. We had Scholarship Foundation, Rouge Park, COA library parking, handicap parking for O'Connor's Plaza, Boston Road construction, the Northville Record Trouble Code compliance, commission service, Yankee Doodle space, disability meet and greet, farmers market, website, and that's basically it. So yeah, It looks like we've covered everything that is police business related. Sergeant, if you want to hang out, you can. If you feel you've got other things you need to be doing, that's fine with us if you want to leave.
All right, I might be in the background here. I have to type a couple reports. But again, if anyone needs to reach me, call the police station. They can direct you, or you can send an email, tmckenna@baricapolice.org.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate all your
Thank you,
help.
Sergeant.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yep. Same to you. Okay. So let's go back down through here. If there's anything that we can do here. Andrew, we still got this whole thing with the COA bus service and the needs assessment request and so forth.
The consultant has been hired by I believe the consultant has been hired by the state, and the public input.
You're cutting in and out, Andrew.
No, you just
Yeah.
muted. You
You
just
just
got
muted
muted,
yourself.
Andrew. Yeah.
Got muted? Okay.
Okay, let's try this again. Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of dishwashers going. There's been a lot of noise here, so I had my mute on and missed it. I apologize. The consultant has been hired. The public input process should start fairly soon. I have been unable to get the details on it, but I'm sure that once the process gets underway, we'll be looking for anecdotes and suggestions and what people think the greatest needs are.
Okay. Okay. Any update on the COA bus services question?
I have not been able to, and it's been my fault to get in touch with the COA and see what their situation is. What service is being offered is free under the grant as long as the fixed route bus services are free. So that should be helpful to some people.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. The LRTA, the road runner, and even the senior bus is also based on the routes of the bus? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I was saying is currently, because of a state grant, the fixed route buses are free. The Roadrunner is free, and money is being channeled so that the COA services, normal COA services, are free. That the free COA and Roadrunner services will last as long as the state keeps giving us the grants for that free service.
Right.
No, my question was, does the senior center go through all of Billerica, or is that also based on the fixed route? That's
No,
what I'm
the
asking.
the senior service center designs its service to serve the residents of Billerica, and some of it's for some of the high demand services, they also take people out of town.
Okay, that's all I was asking on that.
So I know, Maria, that you have not been able to use Roadrunner because you're outside of the fixed route range.
Correct?
But you should
Correct.
be able to use COA. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, excellent. I am gonna I'm gonna call and find out.
Yes.
The COA does have a qualification process. If you've already qualified for the Roadrunner, they accept that.
Yeah, I am qualified, yes, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the question was that because Maria wasn't in the right age range for COA, because the COA was supposedly just for seniors, and we were saying it should be for seniors and people with disabilities.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
so basically, you're calling the COA to find out what they're doing would probably be a
Yeah.
very useful piece of information, Maria.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna call. If that's the case, then I should be able to use it.
Some disabled
All right.
people are regularly using it now.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah, that would be nice if they would just keep on doing it.
Okay. So let's see.
Yeah, Maria, if you're successful there, just let us know.
Oh, I definitely will. Absolutely, I will even post it on Facebook, you know?
Can post a picture on our website, our Facebook
Yep.
page.
And say, hey, guess what, people?
Okay. Colrausch Park update. We don't really have anything other than my understanding is that they've let out contracts and supposed to be construction starting in the spring, but don't know just when that will happen. And he has set out plans. I think I forwarded those to people that asked. COA and library parking, which was the striping question. Do we have any update on that? I haven't been by either one lately.
No.
I was at the library earlier today. I don't think there's any change there.
Okay.
I just had a thought that I wanted to kind of voice. So, looked like the steps out in front of the library are being repaired, they've kind of fallen apart. And I was just wondering if there's any concern with, more people using the accessible ramp. Worry about any kind of traffic obstruction, anything like that they might need to sort of think about.
I know the regs say that if you have an accessible feature and you're doing repairs, you have to maintain accessibility to the accessible feature.
Yeah, which they have.
But I don't know of anything explicitly about traffic that's getting diverted to use the accessible feature instead of stairs or whatever.
Yeah.
I know from practical experience, a lot of it is just kind of the same sort of politeness you have on a narrow street. That if you're going to be getting on the ramp, you with a wheelchair that takes up most of the room, you either need to wait for the ramp to get clear or
And that's kind of what the thought was. Like, and I don't know there's a whole lot of traffic that's really a problem at that building, but you just don't want somebody waiting while everyone else is sort of walking.
Yeah.
I know. And another thing that made me think about it, so I was at the Reggie Lewis Center a little while ago because my son runs track there. And there's, a whole, it's kind of a big structure because it's an accessible ramp. And people used to stand there to watch. And the last time I was there, they had put up some signs saying you're not allowed to stand there because that's the accessible ramp, which is great. I was happy to see that. But this is a little bit kind of like that, where the normal access is blocked, so people are going to naturally use the ramp. They have to. It's the only way to get in, I think. Yeah. And so, just what things might we anticipate? And so maybe it's something like that.
Yeah, I would say that's don't poke that unless it becomes a problem. I mean, I know back when I did my rehab, we did a lot of our training at Boston Garden / North Station, and the ramp there has a U-turn in it, and it's a blind corner. You can't see the top of the ramp from the bottom and vice versa. And so one of the things they taught us is that when you're seeing a situation like that, you take and you holler as loud as you can on the ramp. and
Oh, God.
just to try to
Wow.
let people know on the
Yeah.
other end, so that we don't end up with head-to-head wheelchair competition.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
Obviously,
We
this
were
is a
told to
straight shot.
tap,
You don't have to
we
worry
were,
about that. But
yeah,
we were told to tap our canes so they could hear us.
yeah,
So we hear bang, 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 bang.
yeah. Same sort of idea, but that basically, just kind of letting people know that you've got oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
okay, just
so,
thought I'd mention it.
yep. No, it's a
No, it
reasonable
was a good
thing.
point, though.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Something to look out for.
Yeah, it is a good point. And it seems like the Wheelers have pretty much figured it out. That, a lot of it is just kind of play nice with your friends.
That's it. Play nice. Yep.
So, anyways, we have no charge there. I have handicapped parking. I did forward a message to Mark about our motion that we passed at the last meeting for the bring it to the Board of Selectmen. And I don't think there's anything else we need to discuss on it now.
What was that? I wasn't here, so I don't know.
We had a motion basically asking Mark in his ADA coordinator role to bring a request to the Board of Selectmen to designate one or more spaces in front of the town center businesses as a handicapped parking spot.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so,
I totally had the wrong date for that because it was February, and I get messed up in February
yeah,
all the time.
yes. Construction, Boston Road construction. It's
Still
still
there.
there's the Boston Road is still there. They're still building things on it. It looks like most of it's looking pretty nice on the one side. The other side is definitely a mess. I think overall it's better than it was before they started, but it's still got a long ways to go.
Mm.
And so that's about it. Do we have anything about the missing side, about the North Billerica Treble Cove compliance things with the missing sidewalks and pedestrian safety issues? I think we've pretty much beat on that one a fair bit, and a lot of it is depending on the fire station construction whenever they get into doing that.
Yep.
Well, Dina, I think it was Dina, mentioned that there's a study for a potential fire department going in,
Right.
and so they would address some or all of those things at that time. So I don't know what the timing is on that study. I don't remember that,
Yeah.
but that's something we could ask her about.
Well,
Right.
there's a pit where Max 2 used to be in the
Right.
beginning of the construction.
Mhm.
I would think that knowing how these things go, that asking questions now about how are you going to change the pedestrian walk signs to accommodate the needs of that intersection would be appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, the construction has begun. The construction has already begun on
For
that.
the fire department?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they've already
Oh, yeah.
started building. I thought they had just torn down Max 2.
Well, whatever there's it's down, the whole fence is up and everything. So,
Oh, because so this was just last month that Tina said there was a study. Okay, so maybe we're a little behind and need to follow up.
yeah, because I go to St. Anne's Church, so I go by there on Sunday and I could see it. It's like, oh, look at this.
Okay,
already
all right, that's good to know. I haven't
fenced up
been
and
down there in a
everything.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I walked across the intersection earlier this week when a surveyor was out, and I asked him, "Are you changing the timing on the lights?" No, lining things up for the new state fire station.
yeah, so it's already begun.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so how can we get in front of that group to see what the sidewalk plans are, if there's anything?
I'm assuming
Who
that's
is
something
doing
that,
it? Who is the contact is my question. Is
Yeah.
it the town?
I'm
The
assuming that's
town
something
is doing the building because 129 and 3A is a state highway. They handle the traffic lights. I think the easiest way to get things going is to write a note to Fred Russell, head of the DPW, and ask, as part of this construction, what will be done to improve the pedestrian access at the intersection of Treble Cove and Boston Roads.
okay. Andrew, can you send me an email with his contact information?
Uh, I'd have to go to the DPW website, but let me see if I can get that for you right now.
Okay. It's just easier actually if you send me an email, just because that way I can take care of it offline.
Okay.
All right, great. Yeah, we'll definitely need to talk about that. I'm wondering if we wait another month, is it too late? I guess let's find out where they're at.
Okay. Yep, makes sense.
I was
Okay.
quite surprised how fast it was going. I was like, oh, they already tore it
Yeah, I'm
down.
surprised to hear that too. Thank you
Yeah.
for saying something.
Thank you. Okay, we have Mass Commission's survey results. It's been kind of an ongoing thing from Lauren, which we haven't heard from Lauren in quite a while. But she has. So, anyways, no update there. Okay. Yankee Doodle, again, we kind of don't really have anything
Mm-mm.
there.
I think it might be a little too early for them to start planning, but I don't know. I'll have to reach out to Taryn and ask when we
Okay,
start that process.
right. We have the disability meet and greet, which I think we can just kind of keep on tabling.
Well,
Same.
here is something, who is handling the Facebook posts? Who has put,
You and I both are hosts.
okay,
We want to put something up.
I've noticed we have 14 followers so far. If you look at the Facebook page, we have 14
Yeah, we just
followers.
haven't posted anything.
That's it. So do we want to put a post of interested in a Billerica disability meet and greet? And let's throw something out there on Facebook.
So you just
see.
want to ask for interest? I think
Yes.
so. If we get a bunch of people who say yes, what would the idea be? Like where would you do that and when?
Well, that's the thing. I am once again going to suggest
You just got
St.
cut
Anne's
off.
Church. Am I
Okay.
still here?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I say that is because they have an ample parking space, and they do have a ramp
Where?
at St. Anne's Church. I don't know if you
At
know
St. Anne's.
anything about that. It's off of right where the fire station is. Where
Yeah, no, you
Panera
mentioned
is.
earlier. I think your
Yeah.
audio just cut out. You said it before.
Oh.
You said it.
So we have a kitchen. There'll be no charge. You know, they're working on getting a new ramp, a new door. So they're going to update it for something like that. I mean, that's the only place I would think of. If someone else has another suggestion, that would be great. But you want it in a location where people can park, especially if they're disabled, if they have a wheelchair.
Do they
or
have good
something.
parking there?
We have a whole lot across the street. It's a whole lot.
Yeah,
We have a lot.
they have a big lot.
Okay,
You do
good.
have to cross the street to get between it and the church.
Yeah.
But it's there. And I think, don't you have a couple of HP spots kind of in the church driveway there next to where the thrift store is?
No, they're not. No,
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Or people usually will just drop off and let them go up the ramp. So,
So
like I
sure,
said,
you're thinking just something informal. Do you have to
Just
work the
something-
church that asks
What?
for use?
yeah, because I already spoke to them about it.
Okay.
And they're like, that would be cool. And, you know, if we decided to make it a regular thing, like every 3 months or every 6 months or whatever, you know, we could throw $1 donation for snacks and all that. So nothing crazy. But
Sure.
that's just what I'm saying. Let's just
Well,
see
let's
if
give
we
it a
can get
go.
feel.
Do
Yeah,
you want
let's
to
get
do
a
you want to
feel.
do the post? Or do you want me to do
No,
it
you
or
can do
help
it.
you with
Go
it?
right ahead. Go for it. Do it.
All right, I'll tell
Get
you
it-
what I'll
Throw it
do.
in there. See what happens.
Well, I just want to make sure it says what you're thinking. So I'll write something up,
Yeah.
and then I'll send it to you, and you can tell me if that's good
Right.
or not.
Throw it on there. See what happens. And, you know, I'm also part of the interface in Billerica, and I know there's a lot of disabled people in other churches. So maybe they could put it out to their people, you know, and get a feel and see, you know.
Yeah. Right. So first we could ask for interest, and if we get interest,
Yeah.
what you can do, so I don't know if this Facebook page has all the features of a normal Facebook page, but usually you can create an event. And the reason I mention that is because then you know how many people are coming and just sort of anticipate that. But I'd say let's try it, and even if it's 5 people,
Yeah.
like let's do it.
That's fine. Even if it's 5 people, that's 5 more. That's 5 other people we know
Yeah.
that are disabled, and maybe 5 will grow to 6. And
It's always good to meet people in town too.
And that's what it is. Okay. But that's my thing. Who are we helping? We don't know. We don't know.
Right. And if they need help, are they saying anything? Right. So yeah.
Okay. So now they know, here we are, you know, and then if we get enough people, see if we can have an event, you know?
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like
do it.
probably ask about interest first, and then if you get enough interest, then say, okay,
Right.
then
Would you-
then start a thread
okay.
about what kind of times would work for people or whatever.
Yes, and
Right.
what needs do we need in the location? What do you want? You know, blah, blah, blah. Even if it's a half an hour, just to meet people, come in and go, blah, you know, open house or something, just to meet and greet, you know.
Yeah.
See what happens. What do we got to lose? Nothing, right?
I agree.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know?
We'll get that
Okay.
rolling.
Okay. Next one is probably the most important one that we need to look at is the the Family Health and Safety Fair, since that's going to happen before our next meeting.
Yep.
And so we have the date and time and the agenda. We're going to have a table. I guess, Maria, you sent out that little thing that you were going to try to get as maybe as a handout.
Correct. I don't know if everybody got it. I just made a little flyer, which is basically a little blurb from the website, you know, our email. I didn't put the town meeting I didn't put the town phone number on it. at all.
Right.
I took it out. I
Mhm.
put, you can reach us by email and Facebook if they want to reach out to us at this time.
Do you want to do a post on this one, like just to announce it?
What, the health fair? Yeah,
Yeah.
throw it out there. Yeah. Okay. So if it's approved and everybody likes it, I'll go to Staples, make copies, submit the bill to Arthur,
Yeah, I
get
guess,
reimbursed.
right. I guess you
And then
send it to me and then I
uh,
send it on to the town treasurer and they send you a check
Correct.
or whatever.
Right. Now, the second thing is I reached out for the MCOD.
Right. I did also, or we both, I know we had conversation with the MCOD that they are
Right.
supposed to be sending us a bunch of brochures. I have
Who are they
not yet.
sending it to? Who is
They were
who-
initially they were going to send it to the Elks, and I said no, don't send it there. Send it to the town hall office. And
Okay.
so far, it has not shown up that I am aware of, but they may be waiting until closer to the time.
Okay.
Uh,
So we need someone to be there to set up
right.
at 7:30.
Yeah.
We need the banner. We need someone to sit at the table. I
Right.
can sit at the table. I don't care.
Yeah.
If I have to sit there all day, I have to sit there. I don't care.
Well, it's only
Now-
3 hours at
3
most,
hours.
so,
So, yeah.
and setup
So-
starts at 8:30, not 7:30.
8:30. I'm sorry, but I'm
Yep.
not going to be there for setup. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm not setting up, so I can't see. So I figured if we could get the information from the MCOD, my flyers, and did you want to do some pens as a giveaway or not?
I think let's say not for this time around, and
Okay.
then you know, I mean, I'll put it this way: every other one of these events that I go to, I get more pens than I know what to do with.
Well, that's what, and we don't want to do a raffle, so no raffle.
Yeah, right. There's basically, I know there's legal issues on raffles, and I don't want to just have to go through that bug.
I'll do a candy dish. I'll pick up some candy
That sounds
and
reasonable.
throw it in a bowl.
Yeah,
Some mints or something at the
Mhm.
dollar store or whatever. So,
yeah.
and I have business cards, I think. I think I still have my business cards, but
I think I do as well. I think I maybe given out a dozen of them over however many years.
yeah. So, and if anybody wants to come sit, come sit. If not,
Yeah.
as long as someone's there to break it down and put
Right.
it up,
Do
I
we
have no
have
problem.
anybody who is willing to set up or to make the commitment to set up?
What's involved?
I guess it's basically at some point need to get the banners and hopefully the brochures from MCOD, and then get the put stuff on the table basically.
Where is it?
It's a Elks
Elks?
Club.
At the Elks, okay.
Yeah, I've got the address somewhere else. I didn't put it in the minutes.
You know where Webbrook Road is?
It's right near my house. Yeah. Yeah, they do blood donations there too, right?
At the big Elks place. Yes. I think that's the one. The big one.
Yeah, let me see.
I'm not coming up with an address.
Yeah, 14 Webbrook Road.
Okay. So I can
So how
probably
many-
help set up on that.
Okay.
So how much information are they sending us?
Let me
Arthur?
go back. And,
Someone had mentioned, Sandra mentioned 500 pieces of literature. I'm like, that's a lot. Are we expecting 500 people? I mean,
I don't know. Let's see. We have, okay. We've got how many? We mailed you some brochures. We have 3 different types, all available in English, Spanish, Portuguese, Haitian Creole, and simplified Chinese. Overview of MOD, Client Assistance Program, and Guide to Navigating Organizations Serving the Disability Community in Massachusetts. I think I said my response when they asked how many, I'm not sure how many people to expect, especially since this is the first one of these health fairs they've had since the pandemic. My recollection of the ones they had several years back was possibly as much as a couple hundred visitors. I'm not aware of many non-English speakers in Billerica, so my best guess would be a reasonable size stack of those 3 brochures in English and possibly a few sets of them in each of the other languages, is what I suggested. So
Okay.
hopefully, figure out. And
Well, I just wanted just let me know. At least we'll have the flyers,
right,
if nothing else.
yeah.
So, did you look at it, Arthur?
I
Well,
looked
look
at it
at
very.
it.
I looked at it very briefly, and
Okay.
I didn't see anything that was like, "Oh my god!" The only thing I noticed was was in my browser. It showed up as running across 2 pages where you had one line on the bottom on the second page.
Oh, I can fix that. That's
Yeah, it
fine.
looked like you
That's
had
just
2.
a
It looked like you had
spacing.
a overly large margin at the top.
Yeah, I can fix it because I did it in LibreOffice.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. But I can fix that. I mean, that's just a spacing issue. I'm just talking as far as content and
Yeah.
I can make the logo smaller. I try to make it green and white because it's Billerica. So, whatever.
Right. I would say we don't
See,
need to
on
do.
my screen, it comes up as one page. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I would not pay extra to get colors if it's black and white is cheaper. Maybe I'm cheapskate, but
Well, no, I just made just a couple of headings in green.
yeah,
That's it. Everything else is black and white.
right. But I know from when I've had stuff printed, if you have anything in color, you've got to pay for pages of color versus pages of black and white if it's all black and white.
Oh, okay, then I'll just make it black and white. I just wanted to make it pretty, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
So, anyways, like I say, it looks. I mean, with just kind of looking at it in the COD in the browser just preview thing, it looks like your top margin is a little bit wide, and if you shrank up to top margin, it would pull everything back up on to one page. So it should just be an editing thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can fix it up and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Jason, if you have a chance to look at it, let me know.
Did you send that to me as well?
I sent it to Arthur.
Yeah,
okay, but I'll look at it if you've sent
I got
it.
at like 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, I sent it this afternoon because that's when I
didn't pass it on to anybody. So
yeah, okay. I'll take a look if you want.
Hold on, I'll send it to you right now. Hold on. I mean, it's just something quick and dirty.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds terrible, but
Mm-hmm.
Jason Gale, right?
Correct.
Okay, just checking. And I'm gonna do COD flyer. And I'm gonna attach it. Da-da-da. Yes. And if you wanna make any changes to it, go for it. And send it back. I don't, whatever you wish to do is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty,
The goals are kind of, some of them, I mean, when was the last time we actually did any of those things? But
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I wanted to throw it in. I mean,
Okay, so it's something to work with.
Yeah.
It's something to work. This came off the website. It's exactly what's on the webpage.
That's,
There's no, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe this is a good exercise if we want to update some of that info.
Yeah.
Right. So this is, like I said, something quick and dirty
Mm-hmm.
to have something to give out.
Yeah. Thanks for getting that started, Maria.
Yes, thank you very much. That
Yeah.
sounds great.
And then from there we can start small, see where we go. Small goals. If we can get,
Yeah, I agree with you. Just get something and then we can build.
Right.
Yeah. Like it's quick and dirty. I'll change the colors and the font, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just send it back to me. Just say okay. If not, send it back with changes or change it. And as soon as I get it, I can
print out these things. Is that what we're doing?
I'm gonna go to Staples.
Okay.
And do it. Yep. Because I'm not printing at my house. I don't have enough.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I wish I did, but I
Yeah.
don't. How many copies? I'm gonna say 500 for now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know whether Staples has price break points or something like that, but I would say something more like on the order of about 300. But
Okay. But I'd rather have more than less.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we don't know.
Yeah.
We could pass them out again, or.
Mm-hmm. So either way, I'm certainly fine with 300. But I'd like to think whether it be, meet and greet or Yankee Doodle or something, we're going to have some opportunities to share.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do. I can't imagine it being if it's black and white. Or I could do it on Vistaprint, and they'll just mail it. But I don't know how they are.
Yeah.
I get calendars from them every year. They're great.
Are they? So
Yeah.
maybe that's something we should try. Maybe do Vistaprint instead.
Whatever's easier.
Whatever's easy for you. I mean, Vistaprint, you can do everything online, so you don't have to worry about arranging transportation.
Right. That is a nice feature.
Okay.
And I've gotten business cards from them in the past, and they were pretty good. And I mean, they're free business cards that just had their Vistaprint plug on the bottom of them or whatever. It worked.
No one cares.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've used them for years for calendars, and I think they look good. I think quality's good.
All right, so then I'll just.
Sometimes they have those little coupons that you can find, because I think the initial price is really ridiculous, and you can usually find a coupon, and it cuts it in like half, depending. Not always, but worth taking a look.
Yeah,
definitely. But at least we'll have something.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
As far as another thing is the farmer's market, can the farmer's market? Can it? Because if they keep it, we don't even know where it's going to be.
Right.
Because I don't know what they want to do, because they want to make that space where it is now the rec center. Or is it the Vining? I don't know. So, to be honest, a farmer's market is for farmers and for food, not. And I don't mean that being rude, but when I go to the farmer's market, I don't want to buy.
Yeah, it's not something that you would go to.
Exactly.
In order to reach out to us, and so I think that's I think that's a little bit of a stretch. So
for us, I'm just saying, because there's no other committee there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So,
That's just me
okay.
personally. Because I don't even go to the farmer's market because I can't walk with the cane. You can't.
Yeah, I've been to one, I think once or twice, and it was like, okay, they've got vegetables. I'm not eating any vegetables. And everything else was just so overpriced. It's like,
Right.
I'm
So-
sorry. Just because it came out of your home garden does not mean that it's that much better than Market Basket.
Right. Oh, they even have a nice postcard. That's 15% off. Ooh.
All right. Anything else that we should touch on?
We have this vulnerable road users system safety bus stop project. I don't know if there's anything we need to say about that. I guess this is an Andrew question.
I think
still
that the
here?
selections
Oh.
have been made for this year, so and we didn't get anything in Bill Ricca, although we came close. So I think take it off the agenda for now.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm on Vistaprint right now. 250, let's just say, cards, $63 with tax and everything. If we wanted to do something like that.
That seems a tad bit steep, but we can go for it. I mean, we've got the money.
Well,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So
I mean,
just
we're not,
hang on.
I was looking at the kiosk cards, Jason. Or rack cards or whatever.
I'm looking to see if they have a code.
I don't know. How do you get a code?
Usually I just search to see if there's a promotional code. You can get like 25% off. It's usually like as you're purchasing it, like you just enter the code, you just type it in, it's usually a couple of words or something.
Oh. I'm trying not to draw this out, but I want to get everybody's opinion so I can post.
Yep.
I can, step on it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing one. I'm seeing things that if it's the first time you've used the account, you can get 20% off. So if
Okay.
that's the case for you, Maria, you could do that.
Okay.
So it's literally NEW20 new 20. And you can just Google that. That's all I did.
Yeah. Okay. So take a look at it. Let me know what you think. And, I'm home most of the time anyway, so I'll be able to work it this way.
Okay.
Okay, and then that brings us Kenny Meadows, which we've already talked about. And then new business. I don't think we have any. Do we have anything else that we need to talk about?
Nothing
No.
on no emails from anybody. It's still
Right.
junk.
Yeah. Actually, going back up,
So,
I just noticed I almost skipped something. Website update. We still haven't figured out what we want to tell the
Right.
town manager's office to do if they get a phone inquiry. I actually got a weird one with this Kennedy Meadows thing where the guy from the MOD, I don't know who he called first, but I got the call relayed to me that this guy is reaching out to me from Liz over in the ZBA. Because I've been working with the ZBA because we're trying to do a lot split. We got screwed on it, but we were trying to do a lot split, and we got turned down last night. We've got assholes for neighbors.
Yeah, I guess it's just a matter of coming up. What do you want them to say when they get a phone call?
Well, I guess the biggest question is, giving out information. I would say that if we use email and Facebook.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what we've said. Just direct them to
Yeah.
other mediums.
Right. Do we want to have them have a phone call if there's a person that's like, I don't have email or whatever?
well, just have them send it to the disability committee email. I check it every day.
Right. But what I'm saying
Well,
is
if they're saying they don't have it.
if they're
So
saying they
they
don't
could-
have it, there's.
If somebody left a phone number, they would get it to you or one of us, right?
Yeah, I guess that would probably be the easiest thing.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
have to use your own phone to call them back, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's too likely a scenario. It's possible.
Okay, so I'll volunteer to say send it to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One more thing. If I get in touch with the people with the scholarships, which they graduate in May,
Right.
I can't read any of them. So I'm not going to be the person to
Yeah.
make the decision. And if Lauren's not here, someone has to read them and make the decision. So.
I'm perfectly willing to read something if you need me to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
because if they send in if they send in a scholarship.
well, I mean,
No.
right now the issue is that we have to, and we may not be able to do something for this school year, possibly given the timing.
And I think that's what Darlene said too.
Really? Okay, so then we'll bail it for this year? Is that
Well, I think what we
wanna
need to do is we need to continue the discussion and figure out what we want to do in terms of, how many and how much and what our criteria should be.
Yeah. So
Um,
I think what I was going to do, and I just lost sight of it. I apologize. I think I was just going to go look at other scholarships that are similar and like what do they include? Just because I think there's things out there that we can sort of leverage, and not have to sort of
Yeah.
come up with it all ourselves. So I'll do that.
Yeah. I mean, I would say in some ways, there's two angles that I would kind of propose possibly is to have one scholarship for a student with a disability or student dealing with a disability, and a second one for a student wanting to major in disability related service field. Like that they're
Okay.
going for like physical therapy or nursing or something else where they can at least say that they're having a disability focus. Because
Yeah, I have a note from last month that it's too late for this year. So I'm not surprised that that got said.
All right, so we can at least get our ducks in a row for next year.
yeah, I mean, this is kind of like Yankee Doodle, where we want to get things figured out ahead of time so that it's not like last second.
Yeah, but I think that suggestion of 2 types is good. And then we just got to, so what I think Darlene had suggested that if we come up with some criteria, we can pass that on to the committee and they can rank the students.
Right.
You know, and so we just got to figure out what are the criteria that we want to enable them to rank them.
Yes.
So apologize for missing that last time, but I'll try to have that for April.
Okay, that sounds good. So, anything else?
No, I think we're all set.
Okay. Okay, so okay. Okay, so I guess then we don't really need to have a vote since we're not in formal session. So is everybody okay with leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in favor, say bye.
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 Talk to you
Okay.
soon. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.